Hi, this is Dr. Jim Anderson. I'm speaking to you from the mountains west of Fort Collins, Colorado, where I go trail running on my weekends. It really helps my mind, clears my brain, and I'm taking on the challenge of explaining to you why it is that a podiatrist like me is doing a lot of procedures to correct restless leg syndrome and why you need to consider what I say. It's going to be a challenge, but hopefully in less than 5 minutes, I can convey to you what it is that's keeping you from knowing about this, because there's something out there that keeps you from understanding how we are able to reverse restless legs. And then at the very end, I'm going to talk about something called the beautiful mind, and I tell you the story of Vickie, who came to Colorado from California with her husband and so eloquently described what I do all the time, but she figured it out on her own. So what I was able to explain on YouTube very much connected with her. So first of all, why is it that you don't know about this? And why is it that a lot of doctors don't know? And why in the world should you be listening to a podiatrist? Okay, if I had to pick one thing, because I only have time to talk about one thing, it's the money involved in Big Pharma. I have a love-hate relationship with Big Pharma. I think they do some amazing things that save lives. And so on the one hand, I support them because they spend a lot of money on research and they lead the world in many ways in the world of pharmacological research and then coming out with new concepts and new medication. But the problem in pain, I think, is that so many doctors are trained to prescribe drugs. That's all they know, and that's all they're looking at. And anything that is related to pain, where there may be a metabolic process in place that can be altered with medication, well, they're on top of it. And so that's all you're going to hear about. It's very important you understand that, okay? So there's nothing that I do that will benefit outside corporate interest, okay? So sometimes I think that's fine, like maybe a patient needs a knee replacement, and when it's done well and when it's done with proper patient selection, it can be a real benefit to that patient's health, okay? And that's fine because the orthopedic surgeon, he benefits, and then also the company that makes the implant benefits. Same thing can happen with Big Pharma, but in my world, it's something that goes counter to what we want to do, because we want to keep you off those drugs and their bad side effects. So how would it be that a doctor like me is talking to you about this? How would a podiatrist be doing this? Okay, very good questions. And that has to do with what I call the beautiful mind, or the creative mind. Years ago, a plastic surgeon, Johns Hopkins, did something. He listened very well to his patients. It was the patients that demanded a solution to their neuropathy. He didn't treat neuropathy. He treated upper extremity nerve problems. So that's where the idea that neuropathy can be reversed came from. Go forward a few years. I, as a podiatrist, was trained to do peripheral nerve surgery in the lower extremity. And by the way, most general doctors, whether it's a neurologist, family doctor, internist, are not well trained to evaluate or treat peripheral nerve disorders. So I stepped out of the world of podiatry and stepped into the world of peripheral nerve. Okay? It's much like the idea that the great things that happen, the great innovations, whether it's in medicine or in business, can be created typically when you step out of what you specialize in. Silly analogy, but where did the ballpoint pen idea come from? The deodorant industry. Okay, the roll-on, remember the roll-on deodorant? Well, that idea of doing that then evolved into doing the ballpoint pen. There's many other examples. Another example in medicine, the heart stent. It was created by a doctor whose original training before medical school was in engineering. Another truly innovative concept. So that's something you need to understand is once you step out of your specialty realm, and there's a whole story on this in my book on Restless Legs, it talks about the beautiful mind and how I was put in a position to be able to do the research and then write a book and do what I do to demonstrate to the rest of the medical world that we can, in most cases, reverse restless legs. And most of medicine's not looking at the right problem. Okay, so keep watching these videos, going to YouTube and learning more. And the final story I'll share with you is a story of Vickie. She came to our clinic from California. Probably in 48 hours, she had booked a plane for her husband. She'd been to 5 other doctors. She listened to a couple videos on YouTube. And what I talked about resonated so well with her. She says in the video that's on YouTube, she knew it couldn't be in the back. She knew his problem couldn't be in the brain because it was hurting him so much in his legs. Where she pressed, where she did things to his legs, there's so much pain. And she said, there's got to be something wrong with it, the nerves and the legs. She just knew it. She knew it without a formal medical education. So that's what I talked to you about in terms of the book that I wrote in the chapter called The Beautiful Mind. So this is just an introduction to why you're not hearing about this, because there's no outside interest that will benefit financially from doctors like me and what we do. And it takes a beautiful mind to get where we are. So, and some of you need to adopt the idea of being an early adopter. You know, a lot of you will wait until everybody's doing this, but the people that come to us are the early adopters. They learn about it, they trust it, and they go forward with treatment. So I hope that makes sense. If you like this kind of content, please like us and subscribe to us. Click below and you'll find how you can learn more and actually go to a link to our website that can allow you to watch a webinar and get a copy of the book, A Perfect Night's Sleep, that I wrote. So thank you for watching.